welcome back to Ask Nikki P, and let's hop into today's email. Hey Nikki, I am a freshman in high school and I'm having lots of fun, but this new school has changed me in so many ways. I am a happy and outgoing person, but recently I have felt like there's a part of me that's missing. I noticed that I'm not smiling as much as I usually do. I'm more serious and less patient with people. I've been told that I'm an attractive girl, but sometimes I look in the mirror and at pictures and I just don't see how people can think that. I honestly don't know how to help myself. I have lots of good friends, but I don't feel comfortable telling them about my problems. It is also really hard to tell them that my father passed away 3 years ago, and I don't talk about him with my family either. I really want to go back to the genuinely happy girl I was before school started. I want to stop putting a mask on every day and show people who I really am. Please help. All right, a couple things here. First one, I'm trying to think of which one I want to address first. First one, there are seasons in life. I would say that I probably fall into the category of genuinely like a bubbly and happy person, but there is another side of me that you guys don't really tend to see. I don't even know if I really reveal that hardly ever, but there's another side of me that can get sad and down, and there have definitely been seasons of my life where more so than others I'm like, dude, I don't even feel like the same person right now. Like, I feel all those things you said, where I all of a sudden feel more serious and like, I'm like, I remember when I used to be funny and like carefree and all this stuff, but it's like you just go through seasons, and without sounding, I don't mean this in a Debbie Downer way, because life is really, really beautiful, but life can also be hard at times, and when it's hard, you can't beat yourself up, even though I'm preaching to the choir because I struggle with this too. You can't beat yourself up for taking a hit. It's like if you punch someone, they're probably gonna get a bruise. It's the same thing. It's like when you're hitting the hardships of life, which you have, you're just starting high school, that is a huge, huge change, and your father passed away, and I don't know what that grieving process was like for you, but if you never let yourself grieve when that happened, you may be feeling it now, and even if you did let yourself grieve, that's gonna stick with you for your whole life. And while the sting may lessen as you get older, that is a seriously pivotal point in your life. So you're going through a lot of change, and whenever we tend to go through like storms, or even if it's not a storm, even if it's just an excessive amount of change, a lot of times, your spirit, and your personality and who you are can tend to kind of morph and change. And sometimes it's, sometimes it can last long term if you don't, watch your heart and really try to guard your heart. But a lot of times it's just a season, a period of life you're going through that's harder than some of the other periods of life. And like I said, just lots of change can really rattle you up. Like I said, if someone punches you, you're gonna get a bruise, and it's temporary, but it's gonna be hard for a little bit. So yeah, I would recommend just trying to really take care of yourself, nurture yourself and just give yourself a little bit of grace. That's something that I'm really working on. I tend to be hard on myself, and Dan has been really, really good for me because he tries to really teach me dude, give yourself some grace. It's okay. And it's the same thing for you. Just know you're going through a lot. You'll be okay, and just know this doesn't mean this is who I am for life. This is just a harder time. It's like if someone gets in a car accident, it's like they're not gonna come out of the car just laughing and super happy. It's the same thing. It may not feel like the same thing because you're like, what? It's fine. I'm just in high school, but it's a lot of change. Stuff is changing. So yes, I feel like I had another point and I can't remember what it was. That might be it, but you'll be okay. And like I said, take care of yourself. If you are a Christian, I would recommend reading your Bible because there's something that's so calming about it, and it makes you feel so much more secure and grounded when you are reading your Bible and confident in your decisions, and it really helps to protect your heart. So yes, those would be recommendations. Also, speaking of on the Bible track of things, if there is a church in your town that you kind of go and you check out and you like and you get a good feeling from everyone there, I'd recommend trying out a youth group and finding people that are your age, have similar goals, motives, morals. And the other cool thing about being involved in a church group is, I know you were saying you don't feel that comfortable telling your friends. Church groups kind of tend to have an environment where you can tell people about your struggles and they want to be there to support you and help you walk through that. And I think that that's really important, especially when you're growing up. Like being a teenager, it's a very like transformative time, if that's the right word. So I would definitely recommend that as well. Now, moving on to a Twitter question. By the way, as I'm pulling that up, you will be okay. And that's it. I feel like I wanted to say something else. It's weird. Once I'm done with the question, I'm like, done, and then I move on, but you'll be okay. So moving on to the Twitter question. Let's see. Do you think a vegetarian/non-vegetarian or a Christian/atheist can have a great relationship? Okay, I think these are two totally separate issues. I think what you're asking is if people that are complete opposites can have a good relationship. I do think that people who are complete opposites can have a really great relationship. In fact, I tend to think that opposites attract. Dan is very much different than me, but obviously we get along really well and we complement each other. That being said, I do think being a Christian and an atheist is like different. That's more than just like lifestyle choices. I think that goes down to like core beliefs. And while I always say, I'm sure there are many exceptions to the rules, I would say as like a general blanket statement, I would say it's probably not a good idea if you're a Christian to be in a relationship with an atheist and vice versa, because one of the things that's so amazing about being with Dan is it's so cool to know that no matter what happens, what we're fighting on, what we're bickering on, what we disagree on, at the end of the day, at the bottom of it all, we both believe the same things. And we can always go back to that no matter how hard it is. If we're going through a really difficult time or we're fighting a lot or something's happening, it's like, geez, we both agree on this same thing and it has nothing to do with each other. We didn't like become that for the other person. It's something that we believed separate of each other before we got together. So, well, I hope that was an okay answer. That was what I was gonna say. That's just my opinion. As always, let me know in the comment section down below if you have anything to input to any of these questions or different opinions, all that jazz, and I will see you guys soon. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and yeah, peace out.